All right, from the studio of Fairfax City, we are very grateful that Lars Fredrik Frøislie accepted my invitation. Lars, welcome to my humble podcast.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
No problem, Lars. Lars, let's go back to the beginning in life. Were you born like in a musical family? How old were you when you perhaps your parents pushed you to take piano lesson, guitar lesson?
No, not at all. That's my cousin has had a piano, and so that's perhaps where I got the idea to play the keyboards and so on. And my brother, he had some bands and played guitar. So I guess that's the musical family input. I think my mother had a huge, or not a huge, but a collection of old LPs and stuff. But nothing extraordinary. And my father, I'm not quite sure if he almost listened to music at all. But so they're farmers and only had time to work, I think. So, but the good thing is, we since it's a farm, there were some houses which were basically empty, which we turned into rehearsal houses. So and we were free to do whatever and play with bands, and the whole what do you say, village kind of came and played, and so it was lots of people coming and going, and very nice, and always open and welcome, So that's
Good
nice.
for you. Were in high school when you were 14 to let's say 18, were you in any particular band?
Yeah, let's see. I got my first Casio keyboard when I was 10, and it didn't take that long before we started. I made this sign on the what's it called? Woodwork classes, where you can and make like banners and stuff, and so on. So we had that, and we got together a band with like the bassist was. We were so small, so he couldn't even reach the bass, and
That's right.
but that's where it began, and we started a band almost every other week, and yeah, the drummer in Wobbler, actually we started playing in when we were around 14, 15, I think, and we're still playing, so yeah.
Absolutely. So you finished high school. Any pressure from your family about, hey, forget about music, you're not going to make any money, go to college, become a doctor, become an engineer, or you were free to choose?
Yeah, plus then again, I never took any musical education at all. So I have art history, a major in art history. So that's and again, they as long as I was happy, they were happy. So no pressure at all, which is nice. And I try to do the same with my kids. No pressure to play or not play. Still, there's a harpsichord up in the living room where they fiddle around. So and the drum kits and stuff, they come and play.
All right. Any of them are going to become musicians? Do you know? Or
I'm not sure. They're like 3 and 6 years old. So
they're kids, little kids.
yeah.
Have a long way to go, but you need to teach them well. With all the music that you have there. Of course, you're a Norwegian musician. Your main instrument is the keyboard and the drum. Also, you are a producer and run Thermo Record with together with your friend Jacob, right?
Yeah, but the Thermo Records, we haven't really released anything in over 10 years. So it's we've let the Charisma record release our records.
Yeah.
Much easier to let them handle the work, and we just do the creative stuff. So yeah.
How you end up joining a Charisma record label? Because they're unbelievable. They are the people that are there. They're the best of the best.
Yeah, and they're Norwegian label as well. So so it felt very very natural and safe, to go with them, and they've treated us well, and yeah, we're very happy.
All right. You are a member of Wobbler. You have been a member of Lingua, Mortua, White Willow, and of course you have done keyboard for many artists, just to name a few. And feel free to elaborate how you and the band member of Wobbler end up meeting, because I think they were born in 1999, right? At the time, and you wanted
we
to play a
started
lot
the
of
Wobbler in 1999. Yeah, we were like 17, I think, and it was basically two bands going together, which I played in both, and some members quit and so on, and it was more like 60s psychedelic or kind of 70s funk kind of music, and we wanted to play pure progressive rock. So that became Wobbler. And we all grew up together. Or the first lineup, we grew up together. So we developed our musical taste together, and we had listening parties. Have you heard this one? And they would bring this obscure Italian album from the 70s and have you check out this. So that's a very nice thing.
Yeah, so many great Italian bands that like progressive rock.
Oh yes, that was a huge discovery when we discovered that.
Yeah, I got it. Do you remember with Wobbler, or in general, the first gig that you ever got paid? Maybe too many years ago.
Like our first gig, I'm not sure if we got paid at all, but our first gig, let's see, that must have been, oh wow,
201, 202, right? Early in the...
Yeah, perhaps around then. I'm not sure if it was in a local place in Hønefoss or if it was a kind of prog club in Oslo. I remember. Yeah, there was some, a club where this guy used to bring in everything, like small upstarting bands and stuff. So I remember we played there as one of our first gigs. So a long time ago, over 26 years ago. So
yeah. Have you guys played here in the United States at all, or?
Yeah, we played at the Nearfest in 2005.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know that.
20 years ago. That's 20 years ago, and actually, that's today. I think 20 years ago, isn't it? I think it was. I remember the 4th of July fireworks.
Oh yeah, today the 4th of July.
And yes, so that was exactly 20 years ago, actually.
My God, man!
And that was when we released our first album as well. So that was a big moment for us, of course. And
of course.
One of our goals was, to play on one of those big American festivals. So,
my understanding is that it's very difficult for any band to come to the United States to play, because you need to pay like a fee and a visa.
Yeah, the visa, and
it's very expensive, right? So you need to have X number of gigs to even break even, not making money, break even.
Yeah, it's very difficult. And we learned that the hard way by coming to Chicago a few years ago, and we were sent right back, actually, because we had the wrong visa, even though we didn't get any money from the gig. So we thought we could go on a tourist visa, but it turns out if the guy arranging it takes entrance money, you have to have work visa, even if we didn't get any money. So
for sure.
So that was a bummer.
And then you ended up going back. And I was listening to the album Wobbler. I think is in Bandcamp. I think is Wobbler 1 to 3 that was released in November 2021, well, 4 years ago. Man, that record is very, very good, man.
Yeah, that's the first 3 albums, basically.
Right, 1 to 3, correct. Yeah.
So they're from 2005 and 2009 and 2011 was when they were recorded or released. So
right. That is what memory do you have for those albums? Of course, all of them are different. I just happened to listen the whole compilation independent of this track is 1, this 2. It's very, very good stuff, man.
Thank you. Well, the first 2 albums were made very fast and intense, like in 1999, and And finally, in 2003 or something, I think we got the record deal with the Laser's Edge, and we went into this professional studio like for the first time. It was a huge thing, and went to Nerfest when it was released, and a fantastic thing. And then later on, we decided to record the next album ourselves. So it was complete opposite, very primitive, and I just had a few microphones and 4 tracks. I think like we had to bounce and so on. So only 4 tracks at the same time we could record, and it was released by ourselves also on Thermo Records. So it was very much a do-it-yourself album, you know, and. Then, well, we kind of recorded things simultaneously as well. So by 2009, which was 10 years after it was made, basically, on Afterglow, which is why it's called Afterglow, we were making the music for our 3rd album. And in the middle of the recording, in 2010, Andreas joined on vocals, which was a huge kind of turning point, or it lifted everything, because he was also very much a lyric writer and had lots of vocal arrangement ideas and stuff. So that was something new for us, basically. So, and yeah, then after that we took our time and recorded From Silence to Somewhere, which was released in 2017. So yeah.
Gotcha. Very, very good music. You do you have another? Do you work full time, or music is your main?
No, I work in the city of Oslo art collection, actually. So I have a completely different job. Still, it's inspiring my music as well, especially this latest solo album. It's very much art centered. So plus it's very nice to for some years I did live from making film music and so on, but it just became a job, and I didn't want it to be a job. It had to be just a passion and not for money or anything, you know. So that's all the solo stuff and wobbler music is all from the heart, you know. It's not to please anything or make money and just do whatever we want, you know.
Yeah, because when they hire to do a project, they tell you it need to be like this, like that, and you say, hey, I want to do it like this, you know, whatever that means.
Very often it kind of gets to in the middle of something where I'm not totally satisfied and they're perhaps not totally satisfied, and it's not the ideal for any of us, you know. So it's kind of instrumental instead of just pure music. Where you know.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so a couple of years later after that, with your band, band members, and you end up releasing a great project, the Chronicles of Father Robin. I think in 2023, 2024 or so, right?
Yeah, that was that's the vocalist Andreas' project, basically, and we recorded the keyboards around the same time when we recorded the 3rd Wobbler album, Rights at Dawn, and by then lots of the material was already 10 or more years old. And I think it was 15 years old already. Lots of old takes and so on. So they've spent like 30 years like doing recordings now and then, and finally it was released in 2023.
Okay, I think I went to a crowdfunding.
I think they did. Yeah, I think so.
To help out, right? Oh, by the way, you guys, and in general, electronic progressive music, it's very well received in South America.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah. You have a friend of mine told me to remind you that you have a lot of friends in Argentina.
Okay,
a lot of people in Argentina follow your music.
That's nice. All right, I didn't know.
Oh, yeah. Maybe one day you can, if you have restriction visa, maybe you can go and play in South America.
Yeah,
Every prog band that go to Latin America, they do very well.
yeah,
At least they
okay.
break even. They don't lose money. I don't know if they will make
Yeah,
money. They don't because they down there they really love prog music from, I don't know, from the days of Pink Floyd, let's say, and King Crimson,
yeah,
got
yeah.
there, and so forth. They really like that kind of music. It is well known there. In 2023, you end up releasing, I want to see if I can pronounce it correctly, Fire Fortellinger, right? And
Yeah. Basically,
that was,
four stories is the translation. Yeah, fire fortellinger. Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
What memory do you have of that? Because that's very good, man. I've listened to the two solo album plus the other album that you have with Lupo, and it's very good music, man. What memory do you have? How difficult was to put that together? Why record the stuff on your own instead of with the band?
Yeah, because this was a pandemic project, I was locked in this basement you see here. And I just played, I run from the drum kit over to the piano and everything, and very fluid and spontaneous. Lots of first take, just unlike, with Wobbler, we can often chisel away and arrange stuff and do things all sorts of way, and you can almost get tired of the song by the time you get into the studio. And so this time I wanted to just improvise and do it spontaneous. So and of course it was a special time with the pandemic and all that. So it's basically only me. And at the very end, when the world started opening up again, I got this fantastic bass player, Nikolai Hengsle, to do the Rickenbacker bass and so on. So yeah.
And then, how did it go with the record? I mean, you were able to promote it, to send it to different record labels?
Yeah, I think so. And it was released by Charisma.
I
That's
got it.
yeah. So they did a great job with the promotion and everything. I haven't played live with my solo work yet, so and that's of course an important thing to promote it. But I would need more keyboard players or more arms or something. So it's we'll see if I'll get together a gang or not. But for now, it's a studio project, and yeah.
You think if it hasn't been for the pandemic, you would have done the record could have been released under Wobbler as well, or
yeah, but, the material is could very much have ended up in Wobbler. Then again, I've done some of this material from Silence to Somewhere, the Wobbler album from 2017. Some of that material was actually some black metal leftovers which I had. So, but in a Wobbler setting, it becomes Wobbler, So,
Sure.
so I can bring in all sorts of things, and it transforms into Wobbler, So, so I would guess it would be no problem to make those songs like Wobbler. But still, it's since it's improvised and all that stuff, it could be a challenge. But yeah, who knows?
Yeah, hopefully you will be able to play that, your music, a couple of gigs, 5 gigs somewhere, and for people to attend your music. And by the way, what's the future of Wobbler? It's any possibility of touring down the road again, or?
Yeah, we did a few concerts just a few months ago, and but right now the focus is new material. So we're meeting up next week actually, and it's we have lots of nice material, but it's not like when we were 17 anymore, because now it's like with the kids, everyone has like family and jobs. Some live on the other side of the country. So just to meet up is actually the hardest part, to actually get together. So so finally this week we'll meet up, and yeah, we I think we have material for several albums, but it's just
Really?
I think so, because it's we just need to arrange it out and uh, and quarrel our way into a direction, you know. So yeah.
Where is the music? You have like a different hard drive that you save stuff, and then when the guys are in town, you put it together and then say, okay, we can use that. Okay, take this part plus that part, and then try to glue it together.
That's one possibility. But the fun thing about Wobbler and the band, you know, is just getting together and jam and play off each other. So that's the most fun for me, and also different from the solo stuff, you know, because that's a whole different situation when you're playing with somebody and they kind of react to something and how about this, you know, and lay something totally unexpected and just have a good time. So, but I also, of course, have lots of sketches, both on the phone and on my computer. So, but the most fun for me, I think, is when we just jam and improvise and we're recording as well. Just put on the recorder and listen afterwards. So, oh, that's a nice bit, and you know. So, yeah.
You can say we always be in the recording mode just in case.
Yeah, it was a crisis a few rehearsals ago when he pressed twice instead of one time, so nothing was recorded. So you know, so yeah.
It happens, man. It happens. And the album after that that was released in June 2024, actually a year ago. So Un posto solo in cielo.
Yeah, that's basically a single. It's I got one of my vocal heroes, Stefano Lupo Galifi from Museo Rosenbach. He did an Italian vocal on one of the songs from the first album, the first solo album.
Yeah.
And actually, it was so nice that I decided to do the whole album. So that's coming out shortly, actually. The whole first album with Stefano on Italian vocals, which will be fantastic. You know, I don't very often get goosebumps from music anymore. I'm not sure, but I did get when I heard that.
That stuff is very, very good. Very good. So there, I think it's like an EP, it's like only 2 tracks, right? And you say you will make it into an album. You have enough material to
yeah, it's basically the Italian version of Fire Fortellinger, basically.
Okay. So I got the Italian version.
Yeah. So just like in the 70s, you know, they released like Italian version and English version and so on. So it's kind of in that inspired by that, you know. So
when do you plan on releasing that? In the fall next year?
Yeah, hopefully in like October, November. But it depends on the LP pressing factory. It takes so long time, you know. So we'll see. Hopefully this fall or early next year in worst case. We'll see.
You need to let me know because I want to get a copy.
Of course.
Get a copy of everything. It's your music is very good, man. It's good for you, man. I'm glad that you are releasing good information here. So this podcast we be waiting for that. Of course, your second solo album, I think it's in English will be All Master. That's another very good album as well, man.
Oh, thank you. That's brand new and just came out a few months ago, and the reception has been fantastic. So
absolutely, exactly right.
It's very, very humbling and nice. Yeah,
that's exactly. Now you have enough momentum to easy for me to say, but to play some gigs on your own in, I don't know, in your office and with a couple of friends.
Yeah, I have gotten some invites to a few festivals and so on, but I'm still on the fence. But it's tempting. I just need more, like I said, more hands and. Of
course, you need a couple of friends to help you out, right? To make it.
So but we'll see. It's a bit tempting, but
What's the meaning of the title?
Gamle Mester, that's old master. It's a term from a kind of loose term from art history, basically, where with the old kind of prominent Renaissance and Baroque painters, basically, which were called the Old Masters, and like Rembrandt, Da Vinci, and so on, and lots of the lyrics on this album was from old paintings, basically, like Rubens and let's see what else. Yeah, and so on. But also it's a name of a tree, an old oak tree near where I grew up, a huge 1,000-year-old oak tree, which is called Den Gamle Mester, the Old Master. So it's kind of a dual meaning, and yeah.
I was reading some reviews in Prog magazine and other sources that I always go, and it has received great reviews, man. It's a very good album, man.
So nice. And this album is kind of opposite of how the first solo album is made, because now I took some more time, and not there are some improvised parts, sure, but I like if I played mistakes, I would do another take. On the first album, it's with warts and all, lots of mistakes, but that's the part of the human aspect, which and plus in these AI times, that's important, I don't use any auto-tune or any like fake stuff. It's all the real analog equipment, and
absolutely,
yeah. So I want that human element. So, but it's still this second album is more arranged and a bit more thought through, not that spontaneous, but yeah.
And then I'm quite sure that you have new material, that you want to release another album of your own.
Well, the main focus now is Wobbler. So
Wobbler, I got it.
So I need some time just to rest, I think, after an album. So right now it's yeah. Plus, I started the summer vacation today. Actually, I just finished work, and now.
Oh, sorry, you're talking to me now.
No, that's okay. That's just a pleasure.
Yeah, and man, your music is great. So, you mentioned before about the music that you have written from film and TV and cinema that you are no longer involved. I need to find. Feel free to send me a link, because I'm interested. I have a lot of film score, and music for film for me is very important. So I need to find if there are sources where I can listen to your stuff. You can send me a link.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. I think it's only.
I would love to listen to that sort of thing.
I only have. I think it's only one album that is actually out on Spotify and iTunes. So the rest is like on the film, So, but yeah, but I can send you.
Yeah, I don't have that many questions left, so you can enjoy your vacation. How difficult in general is to make a living as a musician? I mean, you're right. You work full time, but if it wasn't for working full time and with your wife and your kids, it would have been.
I guess I would have to play much more live, I guess, and like the bass player on my solo album, he is a full-time musician, but then again, he plays live, all the time. So, and for me, with the small kids and stuff, I'm not sure if I'm that up for it to go away from them that much, So I prefer the way I do it now, with a gig once in a while, and yeah.
So your wife wouldn't complain. Where are you? Where are you?
Yeah. So,
they say here, what's the expression they use? Happy wife, happy marriage.
Yeah. So,
of course, it's the 4th of July here, man, as well. It was Lars. It was very nice talking to you. You are a great musician. I really like music, and the stuff you do with Wobbler also is very, very good. Keep me posted on any upcoming work you're doing, and happy we can always do a follow-up interview, and
nice.
Enjoy your summer, and here for the 4th of July as well. We'll have some barbecue outside later on.
Yeah, happy celebration, and have a nice summer as well. So.
You too. It was very nice talking to you, man.
Nice talking to you. All right.
Bye. Bye, Lars.